Welcome everybody to this third webinar. And is what has become this year a recurring tradition of sorts. And I hope you're all staying safe and well, and that all of your families are staying well. And if you're sheltering in place, you're doing it as well as humanly possible. So today I thought I would take a step back. Last time we've done the previous webinars, we've done Tableau, connection to Tableau, making a dashboard. That was pretty complicated. We've done, the next one was professional services, my summit speech. I decided to go a little bit more technical this time and to kind of show everybody an interesting use case for 40View Pro. 40View Pro is great. It's showed up kind of when I showed up in 4D, so about 3 or 4 years ago, and it's been growing and getting better and better ever since. I presented it at the summit in 2018, and I didn't know much about it then, and after doing this, I feel like I know a little bit more, that I'm a little bit more confident in talking about it. I think this will be a little bit shorter webinar. Last ones have been an hour long. That's a long time, but this one is going to be a little bit shorter, but I think that the information in the demo is going to be really pertinent to your businesses and how you can see 40View Pro really working in your application. So I'm going to be showing a demo, and this demo will be shared with you after later on next week, most likely. It will be on our GitHub page. So this is a project mode demo. We are currently recording this, and it will be on, and we will present it on in YouTube. And then and please ask if you have something you want to tell me, let me know in the chat. But please ask any questions in the Zoom Q&A section, and I will respond to them at the end of I will respond to them. I will address each one, respond to it to the best of my ability, and follow up where necessary. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. So first, a word about myself. My name is Will Taylor. I'm a Capricorn. I work for the 40 US team as the technical account manager, and I head up all the professional services projects for the US and English-speaking Canada. Okay. That's a picture. That's a little bit older picture of me where I didn't have the beard, pre-confinement. So I used to look really clean. So now you may be asking yourself, what is 40View Pro? I mean, you've heard of it, but a lot of people have not necessarily, a lot of people are not, don't necessarily know how to use it in their application or really know the power of it. So I've heard things like, my client likes Excel and they want their 4D information in Excel. Okay, that's one thing. But I feel that what I'm going to show you today is a really good use case for you to bring the functionality, the key functionality of Excel into your 4D application that will allow your clients to make ad hoc reports, do some data visualization, do some pivot tables. There's a recent tech note about how to make pivot tables in 40Write Pro written by Nat. That's great. So excellent job. So this is just a way for you the developer, to make sure all of the data is coming from the database and it all is in the same ecosystem for your client to use. So let me start by saying, so that's a little bit about what 40View Pro is, but I'm going to give you a really cool demo about what it is. So let me start by saying 40View Pro is a 4D product. It comes with your 4D environment, not like the 40View. of the past that was a plugin, this is really a native feature set. There's no additional installation required, and it provides an advanced feature set related to list boxes and spreadsheet capabilities. So when we think about 4D Pro, we think about two things. We think about the list box features, advanced list box commands, which I'm not going to talk about today, and the 4D component and 4D and 4D form area that allows developers to embed a spreadsheet in their forms, in their application, their UI. And that's the main focus of today. So behind the scenes, a 4D Pro is built on a rock-solid JavaScript engine called Spread.js. That's the logo. It's called Spread.js. Look it up. It's great. It's the #1 web JavaScript Excel a spreadsheet engine around. And we take it we've embedded it in our application in a 4D to allow you to have the Spread.js, the 4D Pro area for yourself. And I only say that because I'm going to show you some use cases of why it's interesting to know that. So as we saw, so I hope we've all seen on events.4d.com, the Add Commensurencery's great keynote presentation where he presented some of the features. What we saw there is we saw that 4D Pro allows you to embed a spreadsheet into a form, make some nice looking spreadsheet things, so annual performance reports, this and that. And then what we're going to see today is how to make excuse me, just moving things around, how to make a really nice looking dashboard. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, 4D Pro is a great way to allow you from your database application to present data in a known spreadsheet format for your users to then use to make their ad hoc reports. So that is pretty much a pretty good introduction to 4D Pro. Now I'm going to go into the demo. So demo time. So I'm going to get out of this and I'm going to launch 4D version 18 feature release 3. Okay. And this is the demo that will be shared with you. So first, I'd like to show you the end result of what we're going to get today. And that is this dashboard. This dashboard, I'm going to run it. Oop, I was testing. I'm going to run it. And as you can see here, we have a dashboard. I'm just going to get rid of these things. We have a dashboard. And this dashboard, it looks really slick, in my opinion. And this is all done with 4D Pro. And I'll show you a little bit how we did it. So what we have here is we have some information coming from a data file or the application. The information that we have is actually not coming from a data file. It's coming from just from a method that generates a random data for us, but you can imagine this coming from a data file. So it shows the information, it shows a summation, it has all sorts of things here. And then we have, let's say, a nice looking chart. And this nice looking chart comes from this information. And I'll show you a little bit that later. So as you can see, the platinum, or let's say the bronze is this one. As this is going up, this is the bronze, the piece of the pie is going up, for example. A little bit confusing color choices on my part. I'm just seeing that now. Why is the bronze yellow? But let's get a little bit of slack. So this is just a nice looking demo. You can imagine something like this in your application. So, and this was all done using 4D Pro. How, you may ask? So in the demo, there's also this composer. And this composer is I'm going to close some windows so I can see. I'm going to, okay, I'll make this. So what we have here is we have a 40 View Pro area here inside of our form. We have some buttons, input fields, combo boxes, or check boxes for some things that I'm going to talk a little bit about later. And so I'm going to launch this right now. So what we've got here is we have our 40 View Pro area here. We have these combo box, we have these things. And the first thing I'd like to do is I'd like to talk a little bit about the ribbon bar. So what's interesting is about this ribbon bar is this ribbon bar allows for, this ribbon bar looks like my Excel. My Excel, what's it called? My Excel application that runs on my computer. I'm very familiar. And I can do all sorts of things with this ribbon bar. I have my bolding, I have my merging tag, wrapping texts. I have my insert charts, my formulas, data. I can do my filtering, grouping, all sorts of things that I, as an end user, would be able to do if there were data populated here. So for example, we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we do sum. This, you see, this is looking just like, this is looking just like 40 View of Excel. So we're doing Excel stuff. You can bold it, you can underline it. You see what I mean? You see what I'm talking about. Now you can do that. So this is just the standard view of your 40 View Pro. And as a developer, you may not want to give everybody all of those options. So you can also come here and you can, as a developer, define what the user wants to see. So imagine the rows and columns. You only want to see 10 and 10. There you go. You have a 40 View Pro area that only has 10 and 10. Imagine you don't want to allow the scroll bars. Get rid of them. Imagine you want to remove the tab strip. That gets confusing because people hide data down there. Okay, so so that's pretty cool. So you have full control of the area of what you see in your 40 View Pro area, what you see in your application. And that's great, and that's great. And that's what you need as a developer in order to not necessarily drown the fish, so to speak, giving too many features, giving too much information to your end user. Let's make the application fit for purpose. Okay, so and once you get the look and feel right of your application, you have the ability to export your application in all sorts of different ways: 40 View Profile, Excel file, CSV file, and PDF. That's great. And so for example, and you can import Excel CSV files or 40 View profiles. And this allows you to be able to export a good looking file as a template and then import it again as a template via the 40 View profile, which is just a JSON file in the background. So what we've got here is, so what I've done ahead of time is I've made a nice looking dashboard that you can look. So I'm going to load in a dashboard here. Okay, and I'm just going to turn everything on so that you can see it. So what I've got here is I've got this dashboard, and it looks like what we saw before, right? You have the information, you have this information, you've got the customer information, accounts, you've got their summations here, you've got your chart here, you've got what you need. And this is great. So you're able to then take this, and then I was able to, using some clever tricks that I saw people using online to make their Excel spreadsheets look good, I was able to make my design create this little border using this clever trick that someone showed me on that someone put on their design web page. So making the row size smaller or the cell size smaller. Okay, so so that's what we have, and that's great. And then what you can do is you can programmatically remove all of the, if you want to make a header, you can programmatically remove everything that you want to see, export it, and then I just want to show you. So now I've exported it into a JSON file someplace else. Imagine I turn it on here, and you're going to see that everything is going to be imported again the old way. So you're importing it the way that you want it. So I'm going to load it again, and you see all of the features are all of those specific features are removed. So that's great. Now, how do you make it alive, I guess? How do you show how to make it alive? It's a good question. Because in the dashboard, what's great about a dashboard is that it's updating every so often. So what I've done here is I've put this code in the auto update. And you'll see in this application will run right out of the box. The auto update what it does in the background is it sets a timer for every second to grab new data. So that's all it's doing. And then in the form has an on timer object and on timer event. And on the timer event, it grabs the data. So that's how it works. Pretty simple, but also very powerful, I think. And there is, so I'm just going to turn that off for right now. Another thing that we may want to look at is how are you able to control the locking of the input of data, right? So imagine you don't want people just to put in whatever information they want into the spreadsheet, because that would kind of defeat the purpose of a dashboard. So I'm just going to delete that. Once with why I'm using version 18 R3 or feature release 3 is I have the inverse so I've always wanted the feature, and before it was a little bit difficult to lock it, but then I read the blog, and on the blog I saw that there was a way to get and set settings of your 40View Pro area, and one of those is locking or is protecting the area. So what I do here is I click lock the rows. This sets the is protected tag of the 40View Pro object, and now, I mean, you can't see me typing, but you can see that I'm unable to add information into the spreadsheet. So this is a locked spreadsheet now. So that's great. And so I'm just going to unlock it because I want to do one more thing. So what I would like, I guess the point of that was to say that reading the blog and staying up with the versions allows you to use features that get developed as they become finalized. So, and this is like all software, this is a work in progress. Even your applications didn't start off however many years ago the way that they are now. So the same way, so keeping up with the language and learning and continuing to grow and changing your application as the language evolves, it comes in handy. So that's one thing. And another thing, I mentioned that 40View Pro is built on Spread.js. Normally, you wouldn't necessarily care what the underlying technology is, but because you guys are joining the webinar and you're clearly interested, I would like to tell you a little bit about 40View Pro. And 40View Pro is, this area is actually a web area that renders the spread.js application inside 4D. So with that in mind, you could imagine that you could run your spread.js, you could run some spread.js JavaScript on the background using their API or SDK to make modifications or to make additions to your application, to make it to your sheet or your workbook as needed. For example, if you want, there's no way programmatically to create a chart using the 4D data set. You can create a chart using the insert chart formula, or insert chart portion on the settings. But imagine you wanted to create the chart programmatically. Well, you can do that. So what I do here is I'm going to come here and delete the chart. Okay. Now I'm going to click the insert chart button here, and I'm going to open up the debugger, and I'm going to show you what happens actually. So what happens is we have a text. What we do is we initiate a text area, a text variable called JavaScript text. We get the workbook, let's say a handle of the workbook. And what we do is we look on the spread.js website and we grab JavaScript that they wrote based on, modified it to be what we wanted to see. And we built a script in a text variable. And we ran the WA web area evaluate JavaScript on the 40View Pro area JavaScript as if it were being run on a web area. So that's a pretty slick way to add functionality that's currently unable to be added using 4D. So that's one thing that can be done. So that's just a thing. So if I run this code, if I just go, I guess we can see what the JavaScript, you see it's just creating a JavaScript, and then I can run the code and it adds the chart. So once we have everything the way that we wanted to see it, we can save it off as a JSON object. And when we load, and whenever we want to see a dashboard, we just turn off the ribbon. We turn off the ribbon. We make the resizing options unavailable. We do all sorts of things. And we launch and we load up the application. We load up the 40View Pro template. So that's the demo. Yeah, that is the demo. I hope that you enjoyed it. Now I'm going to go back to the slides really quickly. Oh, here they are. And I'm just going to provide you some resources that I found very helpful in the creation of this webinar. First thing is the 40View Pro reference. Check out the what's new and read the reference. It's a really great, with the references and the how and this demo, you should be able to get pretty far. The blog is a great reference, especially with these new developments, because it shows all of the new features that come out with each subsequent feature release, and often provides a how do I that allows you to understand and play with the new feature itself and see how it can work. We have knowledge base. This is for tech tips, tech notes. I mentioned Nat's pivot table tech note that he did last month. That's a great resource if you want to see how pivot tables work and really understand how you can get a pivot table in your 40view Pro area. Oh, discuss.40.com. Oh, sorry. I'm going too fast. Discuss.40.com. This is a great resource. These are 40 forums. This is a great resource if you want to ask about, people ask all the time about spread.js, how to add, there was recently one about how to add a trend line that was in there. That was interesting. So if you are wondering how to get what you want out of 40view Pro, that's a great place to look. All of the engineering team and all the tech support and account managers read that and we'll follow up with you if at a as needed basis. As I said, the spread.js documentation, it's well done and it's easily digestible. I think that they did a great job, and it allows you to understand and really take the advanced features of spread.js that would be needed from you in your application. And then finally, you can contact us at professionalservices@40.com. The professional services team is the team that's running these webinars, and we will answer any questions that you have about the webinar, about the demo, and anything that you need, any further discussion. We're always here to listen and help out. So that's it. I'd like to open the floor to Q&A. And I will just go down the list. So the first question is, ACI should have made this available in version 17.5, etc. I think I answered that question. This is an ongoing product and a live product. So with each feature release, there are more and more functionalities that are coming out. 40view Pro, I believe, was introduced with version 16. I may be wrong, but their 40view Pro was available in version 17. So someone asked, client wants us to generate, client wants us to generate spreadsheets with formulas. Can we do that with 40view Pro? Yes, you can. There's a ton of, I didn't go into the formulas, but there's a ton of formulas, and you can even have your own methods in 40view. So we have all of the standard formulas in spread.js, but we also have the ability to make methods inside of your spread.js application. So yes, you can use formulas. I use the sum, but you can go crazy. So I hope that answers your question. If you want to ask further, feel free to reach out to me. So someone asked, I have licenses for old 40view under annual maintenance. Do I need to buy new licenses? The answer is no. Unless someone tells me otherwise, the answer is no. Your 40view licenses are 40view Pro licenses. So I hope that answers that question. And I hope I didn't steer you wrong, but I think that that's all right. And do business users need a 40view Pro license to see dashboard, or only developers need 40view Pro licenses to make the dashboard? I think that, I don't know. I would reach out to your account representative on that. I'm sorry, I can't answer that question right now. But if you reach out to your professional services at 40.com or your account representative, they'll be able to answer that question. I'm sorry, I just don't have the answer right now. So 40view programs will translate into Excel formulas. You can use Excel formulas in the 40view Pro document. You can, and we can talk about this on I would say, yes, they do. They translate into Excel formulas, but I would need to, I would say generally yes, and what I've seen, yes, they do. But if it gets complicated, we can always have a look. But yes, you can export into Excel keeping the formulas, if that answers that question. Someone asked, where's the demo I showed? As I said at the beginning, I will be showing this, I will be putting this up on GitHub, and you will all be receiving a link to the GitHub when I get it. You're welcome for that. So someone said we took away 40 view in version 17. 40 view was taken away in version 17, but there is a clear path forward to convert 40 view to 40 view pro in a very seamless in a very seamless way. So there is a 40 view or 40 view to 40 view pro functionality. And if you need any help with that, please contact your tech support team and they should be able to help you out with that. It's a seamless transition between the two. 40 view is a 32-bit app, a plugin, and 40 view pro is 64-bit. So you're right, it's no longer available 40 view in any 64-bit version. So ad came in, so thank you, ad. So this is to answer a question. Dashboard is an implementation. They just need to have a 40 view pro license. So I hope that answers that question. Okay, that was relatively straightforward. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. I see your chat. I hope your family as well too. Appreciate it. Q&A, got a couple. Can you use outside charting libraries like HighCharts? Again, I'm not sure. Unknown. Okay. So someone says in 40 view, we had off-screen areas. I think that's something that we can take offline with the tech support team if you'd like to, and we can figure out your use case and we can help you go forward with that. Developers or even viewers need the 40 view pro license. I think if you want to use 40 view pro, you need the 40 view pro license. I think that is that's what I think that's what I need to. Ads comments. So dashboard is an implementation. They need to have a 40 view pro license. Yes, you need to have a 40 view pro license. And for all users, yes, 40 view pro requires a license for all users. Thank you. And again, to get into licensing questions, please contact your account representative. You need a license to use it, I guess is the way. And if you want to figure out how many licenses you need, please contact technical support. I'm glad that you're interested in using your account representative, and they will help you figure out how many licenses you need, the pricing, etc. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Someone said, nice job, Will. I appreciate that. Cool. Any other questions before? And feel free to reach out to me once again, professionalservices@40.com, or your account representative, tech support, anybody, and even the chat functionality on the website if you want to speak with your account representative that way. On the website, there's a chat feature, which is pretty cool, which I showed last time. So now I'm going to go in. So if there are no more questions, I'm going to go into what are we going to do next? So there's a bunch of topics that we have coming on. Continuous integration, 40 Write Pro, REST server, other version 18 conversion. I'm leaning towards version 18 conversion personally. So in about 6 weeks, we can all meet again and we can talk about one of those, but most likely it will be version 18 conversion. Okay. And if you do have a topic that you'd like me to look into, we can reach out and we can see if it would make sense for a webinar or we can talk about it. So please, professionalservices@40.com. And I want to say thank you again to you all for the time and your energy and effort into your applications. And I hope that everybody is doing well. So someone asked, will we have the recording? So I'm just going to pop into the chat right now. I'm still getting a couple of questions. The recording will be on YouTube. It'll be in the thank you email. At some point, it'll be sent out. So yes. Okay, cool. I think that answers it. That does it. So yeah, as I said, take care, everybody. And we'll talk, if not before, and in the next 6 weeks. Oh, another question? Sorry. Cool. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.